Now,
You
before
can't escape this
integration,
history.
the African American was more prosperous than any other in America. They owned more businesses per capita. They were more wealthy per capita. Their kids went to better schools per capita than any other people in America. Do your research. You will see that because they were forced to spend money with each other, to teach themselves, and to plant and grow their own food, they became a society that was envied across the globe.
In 1920 is when everything pretty much changed. They started changing every single thing. They started removing certain parts of the history. They started rewriting the history. 1920s is about that time. Educational system started changing everything. Rockefeller educational system. So if you find books, you want to find books before 1920s. Because if you don't find books before 1920s, you're usually being told a bunch of nonsense. And you look at a lot of the free energy books too, and everything related to the ether. That's before 1920s. The ether was removed from the periodic table after 1908. Every book you look into, it talks about ether and terrestrial magnetism and all of these things. 1908, that was removed off the periodic table. And that was removed so that people would not believe in the ether. They would think it's woo-woo. They would think it's pseudoscience. Those are all terms of the Rockefeller educational system. Coming up with terms to debunk the truth and debunk what we were once connected to. Then when you get rid of ether, you get rid of everything related to the fifth element and the quantum. You get rid of all of that. And then you make up a whole new narrative and you remove all that so that when you can't explain something, you just say,
When we think of African Americans, just in that short period between the Civil War and the crash of 1929, the reason I use the crash of 1929, because after that, we will never recover in terms of the amount of banks we opened, because with the crash of 1929 is about the major European, the German, English, and American banking family getting control of the economy in America. But after that they create the Federal Reserve, which is not a government organization. It's an organization of a few rich banks and families, from the House of Rothschild to the major bank in Germany and the banks in America, that control the economy of the United States of America. And so after that point, black folks could not get the licensing and the charters to open banks. And so we were able to pull off a few that was funded and financed by white banks, like Freedom Bank in Harlem was underwritten by Chase Manhattan Bank, and as a way for Chase to process the drug monies and the number of money in Harlem at the time. And once the CIA used the Cuban to take over the numbers industry, they had no more need for Freedom Bank, and so it was allowed to fail and dissolve. And that happened in many other places in the country. So there's certain things you need to understand about America.